And for the pledge of allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Roll call. Madam Secretary, if you would call the roll. And we do not have mics this evening, so if we could elevate our voices, if you would.
Like this.
However you want to do it, but just let the people hear.
Mr. Mitchell.
Here.
Mr. Taylor.
Present.
Ms. Gass. Ms. McGowan. Here. Mrs. Momini, present. Ms. Gully. Ms. Seats.
Present. Thank you. We have a quorum. Item C on the agenda, we're asking for approval of the agenda as presented tonight.
I move that we approve tonight's agenda as written.
Okay, I have a motion and I have a support. Are there any questions or comments at this time? No questions or comments? Madam Secretary, if you would call the roll, please.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
Ms. McGowan. Yes. Mrs. Momini, yes. Ms. Seats.
Yes.
Mr. Mitchell.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Motion carries for the approval of the agenda. Item D on the agenda is public comment. So we will ask that you come as close in the center as possible if anyone from the public wishes to address the board.
I'd like to address the board here.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
My name is Emma Kennard, a concerned citizen. I've worked in the school system for many years. I'm retired, but I have been very concerned because I hardly ever miss a meeting. Very rare that I miss a meeting, and I've seen some things that is very questionable. As far as the finance, Mr. Leonard, that's his name? Scott. That's the one that resigned. He didn't give us any answers towards the $800,000. He did not itemize them. I knew that you all remembered that because then you questioned it also. So I never did get an idea as to where that money went. Then we have this disturbance in the school, the children fighting, more so than they ever have. We have never had this amount of money put in to sort of work with the fighting and the disturbance in the school. But we have this amount of money and we having this much disturbance. And we paying our superintendent probably the top dollars. This school's supposed to run just like silk, because they've given her all of the support that she needed at the top. In fact, you all are operating top heavy. So I'd like to see some answers. And I know that many wants to come and support her. And if it's nothing wrong, they'll do the investigation and find out that there's nothing, that she's okay. But I don't think anyone should stand in the way of them investigating and finding out exactly where's our finances going. We pledge our allegiance to the flag and said justice for all. Where's the justice for our children? This is what you should be. Every last one of the school board and any concerned citizen should be looking after is our children. They're the future generation. Anyone that is not concerned about that don't care about how our city survives. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else from the public at this time wishes to address the board? Thank you.
Good afternoon. Thank y'all for allowing me the opportunity to speak. Last week I spoke on the fact that we need to revamp the Benton Harbor area schools and go up under the Benton Harbor community school system. The reason that I suggest just I want to piggyback off what Ms. Kennard has said. There has been a lot of misappropriation of funds going on in the district. We pay a superintendent $165,000, and everything from the point that she's been here has been to take away the teachers that know the kids and know the culture and put individuals in place that don't have a clue as to the culture of the students that's here in the Benton Harbor school area. One of the things that has began to happen Just like when we had, as she spoke on, Mr. Leonard, he wanted to sell off everything. He wanted to get rid of automobiles. They want to do everything they can to disrupt and destroy. And I know there's a lot of individuals and a lot of powers that have been fighting to disrupt the school system. I mean, this is with surgical precision, and it's time out. You know, I'm glad that we have Mr. Seats in position as a board member, and those of you who have a understanding what is from what seems to be, because what seems to be is an illusion of inclusion. And we full well know this, and I've been fighting for the school system for over 20 years. Yes, we have two people that we partner with, Whirlpool and Lakeland. And I remember when that superintendent got here and tried to go get money, they said, why would we give money to a sinking horse? That's what they told. So how would we be partnering with two entities that's well off, and they can't forgive a $15 or $20 million debt that you could take and reorganize and regroup where we can get the proper teachers in here. We can get qualified teachers, teachers that are state certified, that have the proper credentials. Because right now we're trying to teach our kids with teachers that don't understand the culture, much less don't understand the culture. They're not even qualified to teach. So we need to have a referendum on really trying to bring the school up to par, because if they give you a 3-year window and it's almost 18 months that's gone by, how will you achieve this objective? Like I told Mr. Whitworth and various individuals, it's a laughing stock, and it's just facts. So we have to get on board, and we got to quit bringing people in here that don't have our best interests at heart. It's just facts. And when she spoke on Scott misappropriated that money. He put money in different places, and when he put the money in different places, y'all question it because he misappropriated the fund. Then he walked away. Now we got Ms. Gibbs that came on board. She don't have a clue, as I said a week ago, as to what's going on, because everything that's been done has been done with surgical precision. So I'm asking that we really take a look at the realities of what's going on. You know, it's just facts. But it's one thing I know for sure: if you take a nickel, you can't get a dime. And so we have to be mindful of that as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else from the public would wish to address the Board of Education at this time? If not, next item on the agenda, item number 2, Central Administration, and we will turn that over to Ms. Robinson.
Good evening, Board. So before you should have a packet of some data. And this is just a preview and a sample of the data that's going to be presented to you on March 13th by Mr. Brian Scott, and he's going to go in deep with this data. I wanted to give you an opportunity to look at it and kind of get used to the format of some of the data. The first packet you have should be Ames Web Plus. We are doing this now all online. We purchased the online system for Ames Web. Last year, it was all hand done. So we had to meet with the students one-on-one. Then we had to tabulate the data of the scores by hand. So we created our own Google Doc and put the data into the system. So this year, where the kids are testing online, and it's all online, so you get instant information from this system. You see here on the side where we blacked out the names, there is a risk level. So you'll see high risk. So immediately you can get some data just by reading that these kids here are at high risk, so we need to pay some close attention to them. You can go to the next page, and this is some kindergarten data. And so you'll see the grade level across the top. So kindergarten, the names are down the side. If you go to the second page, you'll see more students who are at moderate risk, some are at high risk, and then low risk. So this even tells us and give us some instant data around teachers, which teachers are producing the low risk students, which teachers are producing the high risk students, and we need to pay our close attention to. So as we go into this, on the 13th, you'll have an opportunity to ask questions. We'll have it color coded for you as well, so you'll get it in color. So you actually see a full report. So that's one piece of data. The other packet is a packet on math data. So we have piloted a screener called Delta Math. We're using this in grades K through 8 right now. What it does is give us specific information about what standard students need help on. So we know our NWA data, which this really aligns with our NWA data as well. So it gives us kind of a broad scope of where students are. This really finalizes and gives us a clean scope of where students need help. So it should be this package. And so this is some second grade math data. The window for this test actually closed today. So we'll get to a chance to get the full reports and have that for you on the 13th as well. So the 13th, what we're looking for that to be is our kind of our data meeting, where we're gonna give you all of this information. And then the last packet of data that you have is from NWEA. And this report is just pulled right off of the report section in the NWEA. And this is our district scores. And it tells us net window for NWA closed a couple weeks ago. So you see where the little diamond is. That is our school norms projected growth. So that is the projected growth based off of where students scored in the fall and where NWEA has them going in the winter. And then the bar is actually where the growth for our students are. So for this K, the projected growth was up here, and then our students actually scored down here. So that's how you would read that piece of data. Our 8th grade students, you see the diamond is right there in the bar. So they were, some of the students, most of the students, a lot of the students met their projected growth. And you see the 10th grade, where the bar dips down below the line. So that means students go backwards. So we'll have this also colored for you so that you can actually see this graph a little bit better than that, better than what it is. And so you have here, this is district and it's math. Let's see what this is. Mathematics is right here on the side, so that's how you can tell what content area it is. And if you flip, you will see reading, and reading is on the side there as well.
So on the third page, there's a K in it. I'm asking, is that kindergarten?
That's kindergarten.
And it says growth count is 0.
So it could be
What does
that
that
the
mean?
students did not finish that, it wasn't enough students to finish the class in that area.
Okay, thank you.
So this is just a preview of what is there. So we'll go deeper, and we're planning on having this kind of a really quick data dialogue at that meeting. So about 30, 45 minutes of looking into the data.
How are the kindergarten kids doing with doing it on the computer?
Well, of course, you have to get over them having to use the mouse, because most of them are used now to touch screen. They're used to technology, but it's the touch screen is what they're used to now. So we have to teach that. And the first assessment, which was in the fall, they got used to it, and they're going to the computer lab. So it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and we do try to have another person in the computer lab with them.
Any other questions from the board concerning the snapshot? I do believe a preview of what we'll be getting on the March 13th meeting for March data items. Any questions from the board? I'll still give you a second. So. If no questions, we'll move to the partnership agreement addendum.
Your other packet that you have before you is the addendum. At our last quarterly meeting, we did go over, we did agree that we would add Ben Harbor High School and ACA. Well, Ben Harbor High School had to be added, and then we agreed to add ACA to the partnership agreement. So we needed to add those two and give those to you so that you can see the goals for both schools. So both are there. We also, the strategies that were in the original is still there. Those will be addressed and added to ACA and high school as well. So these are the same things that were in the original partnership agreement. And all of those goals are there. So there's 4 goals there, the strategies and activities attached to them. And then in the back are the additional piece actions that were shared with us at the at another board meeting when Deputy Superintendent Vanessa Kessler So you are given this to have an opportunity to read through the addendum. And then at the working session next week, you'll have an opportunity to ask questions or even send us questions beforehand so that we can receive answers. We'll have a resolution for you at the second meeting, the March 13th meeting, so that we can go ahead and sign on.
Are we signing before the partners, or are we doing this simultaneously?
You're signing before the partners. So in talking to Dr. Teasley, she suggested that we go ahead and get the board to sign, and then the Department of Education will sign. Once we all sign, or we sign, then she can get things moving with the mediator, the mentor, and things like that. And then she said she'll work with me on addressing the partners. Okay, so the MDE and the school board needs to sign first.
Are there any questions from the school board concerning the partnership agreement addendum at this time? If none, okay. Next item on the agenda is board business. First item on the agenda is the separation of the CFO and the COO position. And we're going to, I believe, and I don't know exactly when the two positions were combined. And if someone would help me to know when the board approved the CFO and the COO position being combined.
I think we did that in the fall.
We did that in the fall.
Yeah.
We did not specifically. We had a description of what the CFO was going to do. And then just shortly before we voted on it, the description of the CFO was changed to include both.
Right, but we still voted on it.
So we're open for discussion. We do know that we have made some changes because we will be, Riemann will be our acting CFO, and we do possibly need to separate the COO from the CFO because we will not have a employee here that is going to be doing COO. That position right now, am I correct, is under you, Ms. Gibbs? Okay. And with Riemann coming in, it may be necessary to separate the COO from the CFO because I don't believe Riemann should be in charge of the COO position. So we're open for discussion.
I think,
Yes, sir.
just as we discussed last time with Raymond coming in, until the water is clear on some other matters, I would think that the COO position would fall or should fall underneath the superintendent.
Okay. All right.
For the time being.
I agree.
Then Riemann would be the CFO.
Correct. Correct. Any other discussion concerning the separation of CFO from the COO at this time until, I believe, June the 1st, when Riemann will give us a report. Okay, I am looking for an motion for the separation of the CFO and the COO at this time.
So I'd like to make a motion for the separation of the COO and the COO position related to the superintendent and the CFO to Riemann.
And I'm entertaining a support for that change to this
Support.
Okay, I have a motion and a support to separate the CFO position and return it back to the COO position as it originally was. Is there any discussion at this time from the board? Trustee Momini.
I have a concern that we might be headed on a slippery slope like we did to read the CA, and we added hat after hat after hat.
Okay.
And I don't want to see us add hat after hat to Ms. Robinson and then have it affect the ability for us to move forward and do what needs to be done.
Okay, I believe is what you said, trustee Mitchell, is the COO reports to Ms. Robinson. Am I correct, or that's what I believe he said, trustee Momini?
Is that correct? It's gonna be reports to,
Yes,
okay.
During the time
Okay,
frame.
reports to, I
I'm
just don't
not
want.
giving her another hat.
That's what I want. I
No,
I don't
okay.
want her wearing another hat because that we got into problems with this before by giving too many hats and then making it impossible for people to do a good job at any one of them.
Okay.
So yes,
This is-
if to report to Ms. Robinson, I have no problem with that.
Mr. Mitchell? Oh, I thought you had some.
no, I mean, reports to the superintendent
I believe that's what he
Okay.
said.
All right,
Okay.
between now and the June period.
yeah, thank you for the clarification.
Okay, trustee, Vice President Gully has just joined us, and we are on item number 3, the separation of the COO from the CFO. We have a motion and we have a support, and we're at the discussion time of separating until at least June 1st, until we find out, because Reman will be our CFO, is that correct? Okay. So, have you any input?
No.
Okay. Roll call, Madam Secretary, please.
Sure thing. Ms. McGowan,
Yes.
Mrs. Momini, yes. Ms. Gully,
Yes.
Ms. Seats,
Yes.
Mr. Mitchell,
Yes,
and Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. The motion carries. Next item on the agenda is board president comments and
Thank you, resolution.
signatory, I'm sorry, banking resolution that is extremely long. Trustee McGowan, huh? Now, you don't have to
Is
read
that
all of it. but we have to-
oppositional defiance order, disorder?
Okay. I motion that we adopt the presented bank depository and agents resolution presented for approval February 28th, 2018. And it's number 1, resolution to designate depositories and authorized agents for the various funds.
Okay, we have a motion and I'll entertain a support.
Support.
We have a motion and a support, and we will open it up for discussion for the bank depository and agents resolution. Any comments or questions at this time? If none, Madam Secretary, would you call the roll, please?
Stephen Bland, I'm sorry.
He's another gentleman from Raymond, so.
Okay, he'll be
Yeah,
serving
somebody
with
else.
Kim then.
Yes.
Okay, all right, that's all we need to know. Okay, now you can call the roll. Mrs. Momini, yes. Ms. Gully,
Yes.
Ms. Seats,
Yes.
Mr. Mitchell,
yes,
Mr. Taylor,
Yes.
and Ms. McGowan.
Yes.
Thank you, Madam Secretary, motion carried. Now, the item on the agenda, number 4, Board President's comments. I have none at this time. Item number 5, Acting Superintendent,
No.
no comment. Item number 6, comments from board members. I will start with Vice President Go.
No comment.
Trustee Momini,
No comment.
Trustee McGowan,
No comments.
Trustee Mitchell.
No comment.
We have no comments from our board members. Item number 7 on the agenda, it is other, and we do have a resolution that we are asking Vice President Gully to read at this time, and we will entertain a motion and a support after the resolution has been read.
Okay, pursuant to paragraph 20 of Dr. Shelley Walker's employment contract with Benton Harbor Area Schools Board of Education, this Board of Education hereby moves that Dr. Shelley Walker is to undergo 2 examinations as part of the board's comprehensive review of the superintendent's ability to perform her duties.
Thank you. We have a motion, but I need a formal motion to accept the recommendation.
Motion to accept the recommendation as stated.
I need a support.
Support.
I have a motion and I have a support. Any comments or questions at this time?
Do we have a date for that action?
I believe the first, is March the 1st, and I believe the second is March the 6th.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? If none, Madam Secretary, if you would call the roll, please.
Mr. Mitchell,
Yes.
Mr. Taylor,
Yes.
Ms. McGowan,
Yes.
Mrs. Mamani, yes, Ms. Gully,
Yes.
Ms. Seats.
Yes. Okay, thank you. Motion carries. Item number 8, board announcements and reminders.
We need to choose a time, even though we've got lots of meetings we've been doing, but we are required to go over that self-assessment survey that we did on ourselves. And you'll see that it is mentioned again, even more sternly in the new partnership agreement. That the next one, we have to do it all together, not online separately, but we do need to set aside some time to go over that self-assessment survey and decide where we need to improve for next year. I need input as to when you guys would like to do that.
Can we just take 10 minutes to do that at our upcoming meeting?
I think it's gonna take longer than 10 minutes because we're gonna have to review where we have strengths, where we have weaknesses, and then we're gonna have to, maybe 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, because we already have a date open.
Okay. So Daniel, you bring a pillow and a blanket.
Next week's meeting, if you would announce, please.
Yes, okay, so we will go over our self-evaluation next week at our work session, which is March 6th, correct?
March.
Yeah.
6th.
Yeah, this is the last day of February here.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's March 6th, yeah.
So does it 5:30 or do it?
Yeah, do we want to do it at, well, Mr. Mitchell's asking, do we want to do it at 5:30, but then that's going to exclude Ms. Gully.
How big is
What
our,
day?
Next Tuesday?
how big is our agenda?
I think I get
Trish?
off at 5:30 on next Tuesday. Let me, pull up my calendar here.
Yeah, I mean, they've already
Took a
got
picture
Mr.
of it.
Scoggins doing.
Yeah, which is like 41 to 30 to 45 minutes for the data piece. And.
How fast can you
You don't have
drive?
any school, special school stuff, or?
Okay, so we,
You know what, I have to get Susan on with that. But we are putting some guidelines,
okay, I guess we're
on
going
the
to
school
do it 6
presentation. So, and that's gonna be 10-15
And March
minutes.
7th.
Okay, so she doesn't get off work until 5:30. It takes her 20 minutes to get here. So I guess we'll just bring extra things to drink. Yeah.
Any other announcements or reminders, Trustee Momini?
I don't believe so.
We do have 2 meetings next week on March 6th and March 7th. So please, make sure that if you're not gonna be in attendance, that somebody does know. March 7th is evaluation. And, we have a pre-assessment before the evaluation. And that will be 30 minutes before evaluation. We'll be doing a pre-assessment with the.
So we'll be doing it at 5:30 no, at 6?
6 to 6:30.
Okay, and then
And
6:30 starts, okay.
Absolutely, yes, that is correct. Okay, if there are no other announcements or reminders, I will entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Support.
We have a motion and a support. Madam Secretary, would you call the roll, please?
Ms. Gully,
Oh, yes.
Ms. Seats,
Yes.
Mrs. Mamini, yes. Ms. McGowan,
Yes.
Mr. Taylor,
Yes.
and Mr. Mitchell.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries. We are dismissed. Thank you. Lord adjourned.